Hello, gorgeous souls. I want to talk about something that I experienced today and also invite you to join me on Sunday, couple of days, where I'm going to talk about keys to proper inner conversation, which is going to lead us into a 3-day challenge for proper inner conversation. So, with that, I took my niece to the doctor today, and while we were waiting for the actual van or bus, something's on my wall. It's a hole. I know the writing's there, but I just saw something on my wall. Um, so while we were waiting for the van to come pick us up because she has to have special transport, I was sitting there and I heard this person declare just as loud and so confident, like the confidence that this woman had in saying what she said. Her words were, and this is just for sharing purposes only, this is not my declaration, but she said, the devil is so busy on me. And she just like, she stood in it, she walked in it, and she was actually behind me. We were sitting right at the end of a hallway. So she was coming down the hall and she was behind me. And immediately when I heard it, I started canceling her words for her. And I started affirming, God is busier. God is busier. God can do it. God can, change her mindset. God, and I just started just talking. And so she walked past me and she walked out the door. And in my mind, I'm thinking maybe she's on the phone or whatever. And I really believe with all my heart that she was talking to herself. Um, and so I thought about that. And as she was walking away, I heard within me that number one, that's her belief system. And number two, she's having the experience of her belief system. And that's why she so confidently declared and shared that out loud, you know? And so I just want us to understand the power of our words. And so I have been listening to this one teaching from Neville Goddard, three teachings from Neville Goddard. Okay, it's three that I've repeated over and over, but there is one that he talks about proper inner conversation, which is what led me to do the challenge as well as teach this class on Sunday. But one of the things that we have to understand is, and this is something that I definitely am planning to teach inside of the sovereign self class, and that is we have sovereignty over our lives. Okay, and we have sovereignty. And yes, you can talk about sovereignty and saying, well, no, God is sovereign and all of that. Yes, God is sovereign, but God has also given you sovereignty over your own life, which is why we have free will. And so, in that, we have to know how powerful we are. That everything that we talk about, all the inner conversations, all of the conversations that we have with people, all of the thoughts that we continue to play over and over in our minds, all of that is a part of your spiritual dialogue. Not only is it a part of your spiritual dialogue, but it also is what produces the world that you live in. The scripture talks about, when it talks about Jesus in John chapter 1, it says, the word became flesh and dwelt among us. There's actually a class inside of the portal, the inner work portal, called Your Words Become Flesh. And in that, I talk about just that. Our words become flesh, meaning that our words manifest the thing that we're talking about and that we play over and over and over again. I noticed for me lately that here's the thing. I was getting off Facebook and Spirit put me back on Facebook because of Gorgeous Souls. but I don't like Facebook. And I was deleting all the things off of Facebook. And I noticed lately that since I've been on Facebook, at least the last couple of weeks mainly, I've been scrolling a lot. Like I'll get on and I'll make a post, or I'll see if anybody commented on something. And if they commented or whatever, then all of a sudden I start scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. And I noticed a difference in my mindset. And when I noticed it, I realized what it came from. It came from me using my time to scroll through nothingness. All the things that don't matter to me, I was giving my attention to. And because of that, I realized also, coupled with that, was I haven't been listening to Neville lately. I haven't been feeding my spirit and feeding my soul and feeding my body the words that are going to bring me life. I've been actually feeding it trash, because even though fun videos are fun, and the food reviews and all of that is fun, it does not feed my soul anything, but my words do. And if I constantly feed myself what's being shown and what's being presented, or what I'm presenting to myself by scrolling, and then also, once you get through certain algorithms, then it changes to something else. So then they start suggesting stuff to you, and so then it's become all the things that's happening in the news, and so you start to scroll, and then you get more and more and more. So with that, in my mind and in my knowledge, in my spiritual knowledge, I'm going to call it that, I knew what the disconnect was, but everybody don't know what the disconnect is. Everybody can't pinpoint and say, this is where I know I need to change my life, or this is what I know I'm feeding myself that's causing me to speak and say the things or have the experiences that I'm having. And so it's very important that we be mindful of guarding our souls, our bodies, mind, your will, your emotions, your intellect. Guard it, because if we're not guarded, we say what we hear, we believe what we see, and not only that, when we start to say it and believe it, we start to live it, because that's what I always say about believe. When you be whatever you believe, you be it and you live it. So I want to really get into this keys to proper inner conversation, because it's so important, especially in the times that we're living in, where we are inundated every single day. Every single day. Okay? I cannot stress that enough. Not even every single day, every single moment, with new information, or with propaganda, or with lies, or with deception, or with, all the things. And even sometimes the things that we think are fun, they may be fun, and that's okay. And I'm not saying don't have fun. I'm just saying guard yourself, even in I'm gonna put it in quotes, because some fun things can sometimes have an underlying message. Okay. So even in having fun, you still have to be mindful that what you're watching, what you're exposing yourself to, what you're giving your attention to, is feeding you. And the more you eat it, you're going to start regurgitating it. And the quickest and most effective way that we regurgitate things is through our words. Okay? So join me Sunday at 2:00 p.m. and I'm going to talk about, and this is our first in almost 2 years. Has it been 2 years that I'm actually going to be doing a session? But this is our first. But I'm going to share about keys to proper inner conversation. And I'm excited about this because I've talked before about your words become flesh. I've talked about, your words manifest your world and all of that. But do we really know what that means? Do we really know that we have sovereignty? Do we really know that we have the power with our words to choose whatever it is that we want to create? Do we even know how to use our words? And that's one of the things that I learned from listening to The Neville audio is I have to know now how to use my words. It's one thing to know that you have power, but it's also another thing to know more, to know how to use that power. And so that's what we're going to talk about. And then after that, we're going to have a 3 day inner conversation challenge. And the inner conversation challenge is going to have 4 parts to the day. And I want you to be mindful in those 3 days, even if that means turning off your phone for 3 days. I mean, what meaning not scrolling and turning, maybe deleting apps off your phone, whatever that looks like for you. Okay. But for those 3 days, really hone in on your inner conversation, what you're saying to you, what you're saying about you, also what you're saying to others, because again, what's in you will come out and also shapes your beliefs. So I want to just encourage you to start, um, the way I heard it is start doing a word inventory. Start doing a word inventory and think about what you're saying. I'm going to give some prompts over those 3 days um, in our challenge, but I think I'm also going to share something that I created a few years ago called treatment words. And they are words that you can use to um, ignite certain things in your life. Um, you can say, I appreciate, I value, or I um I believe, it's those kinds of prompts. But it's more explicit. I'm saying explicit words that you can use that's going to spark something. And the reason why that's important is because we always say, I believe, but sometimes we become so familiar with words that they have no meaning. So replace belief with something else. What else could you use? Belief means I accept as true. So I accept as true that I am healed, healthy, happy, whole, and holy. I accept as true that my body is complete and whole. I accept as true that my family is a loving, kind, and generous family. I accept as true that all of my bills are paid on time and even before time. So that's how you can use those prompts, those treatment words that I'm going to share with you. It's just mainly about looking at using words differently, expressing yourself differently, because again, if you're saying the same thing, even though your words are powerful, you don't connect to the meaning of it because you're so familiar with just saying whatever it is that you say. Which is why I always talk about when you're doing affirmations, don't just affirm anything, affirm what means something to you. So I don't want to start teaching here because that's what I feel like I'm doing right now. But I want to again invite you to join me on Sunday, and then on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we will have our 3 day challenge, which is going to have a little, I don't really want to call it a workbook. It's just some prompts in there that you can use for those 3 days, and that's it for now. But I just wanted to say that when she said that, when I heard that lady say that, and I heard her coming down the hall, it's like her words were going forward, like it was so powerful. The way she said it was so powerful. The words were coming out of her with so much force that it was like, whoa. Like, that's my response initially, was whoa. And then she walked past me, and as she walked past me, I looked at her. She looked beautiful. Her outfit looks pretty. She had a was really pretty little two-piece thing with some yellow bottoms, and she looked beautiful. And I, like I said, I immediately started canceling out her words and saying, God is bigger, God is busier, God is busier, God is busier, God can do, God will, God, I just started just declaring that for her. But she believed everything that she said, so much so to where I felt, the power of what she said. And we just have to be mindful of what we're saying. The thing that really, I'm gonna say, sparked me to record this video was because I don't believe she was on the phone. I believe she was really speaking to herself. Okay. And so I was like, dang, that's really amazing that you can talk to yourself with that much power and don't really connect with your words. So that's all I have to share. Sorry to make this such a dragging video. I send love, light, peace, joy, and blessings to you, and I will see you, or you'll see me on Sunday. Take care.